Hi everyone. Thank you so much for making the time to join today's webinar. And so today we are joined by Mr. Tejas Ghongadi, who will help us experience the power of credit card. And Tejas Ghongadi is a Mumbai-based chemical engineer with a dream to explore the world for free. He's the founder of the Points Code. It's an Indian-based boutique consulting startup helping you maximize your reward points earned from your credit card spends. Tejas, welcome to the webinar, and thank you so much for joining in. And over to you.
Thank you, Anil. Good evening,
So,
everybody.
yeah, sorry to interrupt you, Tejas. So,
Yeah,
people, please put your questions in the Q&A. Why, in the meantime, the webinar goes on. We'll take the questions on the first come first served basis. Thank you so much. Over to you, Tejas.
yeah, sure. Thanks, Anil. So I think a very unique topic, and probably some of you are already aware of it, but a very ignored topic in general with regards to credit cards and credit card rewards. And let's hope that today we look at something really new, good, and will help you save a lot of money in the future. So I think firstly, the biggest question, I think, why get a credit card? There's historically we've seen that a lot of people were credit card hours, credit card using hours. We've seen a lot of people who mention that I use only debit card, I use only UPI and stuff. But there's a saying, credit card is for people who don't need credit. And why? Is that we'll come to that in the next few slides. But I think first, why everyone should get a credit card at least for a lifetime free credit card to start off with, because the key aspect is the credit history. Convenience is definitely there in terms of payments, but then you have convenience through UPI also. But the credit history part is probably one of the most important aspects, unless you already have a loan or home loan, a car loan, an education loan. But credit cards are a great way to build credit history also, and their credit history is very important today in general for a lot of things. Even some banks giving certain uh, discounts on the home loan interest rates or car loan interest rates, depending on what credit score you have. So I think that every financial institution is now looking at credit history as a very important tool. And the next up is the free credit period. I think this is where the credit card rewards, as a credit card perks start. The very first perk is a free credit period. I think, say you're supposed to purchase something like a new phone, a 1 lakh rupee phone, and you do use a debit card. The 1 lakh phone is straight up, 1 lakh rupees is straight up going from your account directly. Okay, whereas if you're using a credit card, you will have a 50-day period, say up to a 50-day period. Say today you purchase, your billing cycle is first week of um, every month, and you get another 18 days to pay off the bill uh, before the due date. So you're looking at easily 40 to 50 days of credit period, and you don't pay a single rupee extra for using this credit period. I think that's more important. You can always keep that money as your liquidity in your hand. Definitely helps in the overall cash management, and it gives you a good time to ensure that in, earning more on your money that you hold in the a bank or even in the liquid funds. So that's one way of looking at it. Discounts and offers. Say you're purchasing that phone that I talked about. UPI is not going to get you any discount. Debit cards, rarely they get you any discount. Credit cards are where you see a lot of these offers. 5,000 rupees off, 8,000 rupees off, instant cashback and stuff. So that's also one more aspect. And the last one is rewards. I think this is where the basic features of credit cards also start. Cashback, vouchers, air miles, uh, cashback. Obviously, straightforward cashback onto the credit card statement that you get. Vouchers is you can redeem your credit card rewards for shopping vouchers and gift items and all. And the third aspect is air miles, which is often the most overlooked aspect, where people don't realize that that's the rewards that uh, maximum amount of reward that one can earn. Why? Cashback is something that the card issuer gives from their own pocket, so it's not really something that they are, it's uh, spends on their books. So they're not keen on giving you too much of it. So cashback is always going to be the lowest. Vouchers, there's bank giving you certain money. There's certain third party agency giving you certain money for you issuing those vouchers. Similarly with air miles, there's banks, there's airlines, there's hotel brands, there's aggregators, multiple agencies or multiple companies like that come together to give you such small piece from their kitty to get you the maximum rewards. So that's why air miles kind of shines a lot. So I think we are going to look at what a usual user spends on a credit card. These are some of the spend categories that most people spend on: dining, shopping, travel, family. Same similar for family members and some other miscellaneous expenses. Why? Because most of these are driven by discount offers. When somebody's spending, they see an ad somewhere, say on dining, they're seeing a card offer on an app like Easy Diner or Zomato or a Swiggy. So they'll use a card over there. Same thing for shopping. You're going to a mall, you see a card offer over there, so you kind of swipe it. But I think some of the items that people kind to forget are these. These also can be moved onto credit cards. Utilities, your phone bills, light bills, water, gas, all of these can be moved. Most often, people keep it on auto debit from their bank account. Yes, using a credit card creates a hassle, but it also rewards you for that hassle. So, if you're somebody who's very particular with your finances and you know your due dates and stuff, I think you should move those auto debits to over here. Insurance premiums, obviously the monthly insurances that may be getting deducted from your account, that cannot be moved over here, but the annual insurance premiums, be it car, life, medical, all of them can be moved onto a credit card and you can earn rewards on it. Taxes, I think one of the most pain points of every taxpayer, the amount of taxes that we pay and vis-a-vis what we really get back for those taxes. I'm pretty sure everybody feels the pain, so I might as well get some reward out of it by myself, and not wait for the finance ministry to give you something out of it. So I pay my taxes using Amex Platinum Travel or Biz Black, depending on how. If you're a businessman, your GSTs also can be paid using a credit card. So then you earn some rewards out of it. Education, school fees, college fees, university fees. If you're somebody whose child is now going for higher education outside, you can pay that. Also, all of these can be done. Wedding and car. Uh, this is very unique. I think we've seen on social media a lot of people saying the car dealers don't accept weddings. So of course, weddings, it's very dependent. If you're doing it in a hotel, most hotels do accept cars. There's never a problem. car dealers, obviously they try to deny you, but you know, they're definitely ready to take up a credit card for a certain fee, and you can negotiate the fee. We have an example ahead of a car purchase that has been done by many of our clients, and even myself have done it and gotten a good amount of rewards out of it. So that's something that uh, a credit card user can put onto their credit cards. Uh, I'm pretty sure many of you, instantly recognize these cards. Probably a few of you already have this card. Is it, how many of you have this card? If you can put it in the comment box. I'll wait for 10 seconds
Or
and
maybe
see
just gives
what
reactions
the
how many people
response.
would have this
Yeah,
card.
if you have a reaction, you can give a
Reactions, yeah.
reaction also. A thumbs up if you hold this card. I think it's a very
Okay,
shiny
okay.
metal card. Okay.
Yeah, so a lot of few reactions we have here.
Right. So I think it feels very good to hold in your hand, right? It's a very shiny metal card, and Amex, American Express, 70,000 fee, and you feel great. They're selling a lifestyle. But I think the most important aspect, this is probably one of the lowest rewarding super premium cards out there. For the 70,000 plus fee, this gives you a reward rate of 1.25%. So that's how credit cards are deceptive, and it's so important to look at. Of course, if you're somebody who uses the lifestyle benefit of this card, it's a good card, no doubt about it. But I think now the lifestyle benefits are also available for through some other ways, other means, other agencies also, which this card used to provide earlier. So really, the uniqueness that this card held 10 years back is no longer there, but they are still capitalizing on the the name build, the brand build. So you need to evaluate your usage against each card. So what's your reward rate? Anybody wants to comment? What kind of reward rate do you get? In the comment box quickly.
Yeah, people
What
can
do you
start
think?
putting this in the Q&A box. How much is the reward rate typically, you guys get when you spend?
Okay.
I guess I guess I'm assuming zero if nobody is putting it. Yeah, I think Mr. Vijay Kumar put 5%.
5%. Fair enough.
Okay.
So, anyways, look, I will not spend too much time. We want to keep as
Yeah,
much
sure.
time available for Q&As as possible, but you can go even up to 15% reward rate with the right set of credit cards. That's the key message that we want to give over here, and how we look at it, how also. But before that, let's just have a look at how credit cards can broadly be classified from a user perspective and how you can look at it. Okay, so entry level cards, mid tier cards, and premium segment cards. Now, what is that? So entry level cards is basically more of lifetime fee credit cards, the ones that are easily available, cashback, and generally more cashback focused. This is good for people who are just starting their professional career, a job, or in the early 20s or so is what you are there, and good to build a credit history overall. If you've never held a credit card, if you never held a loan, so this is where you'll most likely start. The mid-tier card, so you've been using credit cards now quite well, and you want to up your reward rate, and say you're spending somewhere between 10 to 25 lakhs. Mid-tier cards are the segment that you should be looking at. Uh, so these are majorly, if you would look at these, would be for people, a mid management or mid working level professionals who would be focusing on these cards. The premium segment ones, these are made more HNI focused. If there's somebody spending more upwards of 25 lakhs in a year, these are the cars to look at. Okay, and say 25 to 50 lakhs, even higher than that. These are the cars to focus. Why? I'll will go into that level. So this is again the cards that we are showing is an example of how to see them, how to see a card. These are not the only cards available, or these are not the only best cards out there. There are a lot of cards. I think each bank easily has about 15 to 20 cards in their credit card segment. So it really becomes confusing as to which card is good for you. But this is just we're giving examples of a few top cards available today that users can pick. Okay, SBI cashback, ICICI Amazon Pay cashback, both in a 1 to 5% cashback range. SBI cashback gives it more to a statement credit. ICICI Amazon Pay gives it more directly on the Amazon Pay wallet, is what you're looking at. Good for spends between 5 to 10 lakhs in a year. Below 5 lakhs also it's good, but below 5 lakhs you're not really going to make too much of rewards from any of the credit cards. So the focus should be over there. The focus should be most likely, your focus should go towards increasing your income levels and upskilling yourself. That should be the key focus area. The next one's mid-tier cards, Axis Atlas, HSBC Travel One. Axis Atlas, we've still kept it over here. Right now, Axis Bank isn't issuing the Axis Atlas credit card, but I think many of the users over the past 6 months or so have taken this credit card, and it's a great credit card still out there. So if you have this card, hold on to it. It's a good one. And if you don't have this and you really want to look at something of that level, the HSBC Travel One comes quite handy over here. And both of these cards are good to spend between a 10 to 15, 10 to 20 lakh, 20 lakh range, up to 25 lakhs. And you can easily get a reward rate anywhere between 4 to 10%, 4 to 15% also, depending on how you use those credit card reward points. Okay, the standard reward rates are, as you see, 4% on the Atlas, 2 to 4% on the HSBC Travel One. The bonus accelerated reward rate is where you start actually earning the maximum, the higher reward points. And as you go from mid-tier to the premium segment cards, there's a lot of accelerated reward rate options available on these credit cards, and that's where if you use these accelerated reward rate categories smartly, you can make a good amount of rewards on your regular spends. Okay. Uh, so, like on the Atlas, the bonus accelerated reward rate is on hotels and flight bookings, even on hotel stays, or you get milestone benefits. Say if you're spending 7.5 lakhs in a year, you get milestone benefit. Same with HSBC Travel One. They have a travel portal. If you book through them, you get accelerated rewards over there. The premium segment credit cards. I think the two big ones most people know. There are other again saying there are other premium segment credit cards also, like the HSBC Premier, the ICICI Emerald Metal Private. But right now we're just putting as an example just two credit cards, the two big ones that most people focus on, the HDFC Infinia and the Axis Magnus. Again, if you see the difference between a standard reward rate and a bonus accelerated reward rate, this is what the difference these super premium segments credit cards make. A standard reward rate is where you're simply swiping a credit card directly at any outlet, any store, or any dining restaurant and stuff. But the bonus and accelerated reward rates are for using on Infinia. It's like using your smart buy portal for booking flights, hotels, purchasing vouchers, and a lot of other stuff. On the Axis Magnus, the bonus accelerated reward rate is in two ways. One is for flights and hotels through the Travel Edge portal that gives you 24%. And if you're somebody who's a very high spender, if you're spending more than 1.5 lakh in a month, anything that's spent above 1.5 lakh on those non-excluded categories, you get 14% for on your spends. So as you see, these cards start rewarding higher, but then obviously the eligibility for these is also higher, and this and it makes sense for high spenders. So it's not that uh, somebody who's spending 10 to 15 lakhs in a year would really make good use of the Axis Magnus, because no, the fee itself kind of is a big number. So you will you may not really make too many rewards for that expense using an Axis Magnus Burgundy as much as what you would make from an Axis Atlas or the HSBC Travel one. So that's how you have to evaluate on what kind of credit cards to really look at. And then there are something called as corporate cards, business cards versus personal cards. Why are these corporate or business cards available? Why personal cards can't be used? If you've ever seen the most important terms and conditions that you sign during taking a credit card, it clearly says that these cards are to be used only for personal uses. So you really cannot use these cards for paying a 3 lakh or a 4 lakh electricity bill of your office, of your business, or your factory, or pay, you book your flights and hotels for your office employee. This is majorly for the businessman folks. So for that, you can focus on corporate cards and, putting up one of the best ones out there right now, the HDFC Biz Black gives a standard reward rate of 3.3% on a lot of business spends, including your taxes. Okay. I think there's also this apprehension always that many company auditors are not happy allowing business spends on credit cards. So it's very much legally allowed putting company spends on business. Sorry, company can spends on business credit cards. It's just that auditors don't want the extra pain to manage the books. So, uh, if your auditor is somebody who's not ready to accept, it's time you go and talk to him a little bit. Now, I talked about a car purchasing. Obviously, here we've talked about a 50 lakh car value purchase, but this works even with a smaller one. Like I purchased a car of 22 lakhs and I paid for the whole car using my credit card. But just an example, say even if the dealer charges 1.5%, you can negotiate it even lower. Like I negotiated it for 1%. And if say we are talking about the Magnus Burgundy, if you end up using the Magnus Burgundy for this car purchase, you will look at it around 12 to 13% reward rate. I used Access Atlas and I got about 8% reward rate on my car purchase. Uh, 6% reward rate. That's including the milestone bonuses. Of course, when you redeem it for flights and hotels, that reward rate goes up to 10%, 12%, also depending on how you redeem it. And we are going to look at the redemption aspect also, or what actually pushes the reward rate up further. Time to burn those reward points. So till now, what you've been seeing is more earning of the reward points, and now we'll just quickly look at some ways of redeeming those reward points and what it means from a value perspective. Uh, this is just a representation of all the flights that the founders of the points code, that's me, Rohan, and G2, that we have taken in the last 5 years, and 80% of them are on credit card rewards. These are easily worth about 3 crores in terms of flights and hotel stays across the globe, and the different cabins, lot of different airlines and hotel brands. How? Here's a classic example of an air miles booking for an aspirational travel. Singapore Airlines first class. You've seen a lot of influencers flaunting this in the on the social media, probably Instagram and Twitter and stuff. And how does this happen? A Delhi to Singapore Airlines first class can be booked using 58,500 Infinia points, or there's 58,500 miles increased flyer, and then you have options of transferring credit card rewards from Axis, HDFC, SBI, Amex. So you can actually combine reward points from these different card sources into a KrisFlyer account and use them to an amazing experience in the sky. They're looking at a booking value of 1.5 lakh easily for a one-way first class. So this is where your point value becomes 2.5. So if you are earning 15% on your Infinia, this 2.5 actually makes it to about 35 to 36% reward rate on the Infinia. That's how your reward rate moves upwards further. Similarly, a Qatar Airways business class, I've done this twice myself. 55,000 points. You pay about $230 of taxes, a revenue booking of 1.5 lakh rupee at least, the price of the ticket, and value per point is what you're going to get is 2.3 rupees. That's what you get. How do you do it? I think that's more important. And as I said, it's more about combining credit card rewards from these cards. Why combining? That's the key aspect. Why do you combine? It's because I'm using the uh, strengths of each of these credit cards and maximizing my earning rate, and then combining it into a frequent flyer program. That's linked with either Star Alliance, Sky Team, or One World. The three alliances globally, and these three alliances cover 95% of the flights flying in the sky. So through these frequent flyer programs, you can actually book any flight across the globe using miles. That's how you can do it. On the hotel redemptions, I've kept it a most, a very practical redemption. There's obviously a lot of luxury segment, a super premium segment, or a ultra luxury segment redemptions also. But right now, as an example, I've kept it a practical. The Sofitel Dubai, which can be, a 2 night stay would cost you somewhere about 40,000 points, can be booked using 20,000 Accor points. Now, Accor points can be transferred through HSBC, through Axis, through HDFC, depending on each card's transfer ratio. So each card has a different transfer ratio. But 20,000 in Accor would translate to at least 40,000. Now it's even higher because INR is depreciating against the rupee. So it's even touching a 2.1 rupee per point value. That's how you can do a hotel redemption. Same thing like what I said for flights. Even for hotels, you can start, you can combine your points from different sources. There is also, you know, uh, helpful when you're short of some points on a certain account, you can actually use points from another card and ensure you get have the required number of card points available in a certain program. Um, so that's how you focus on the hotel redemptions. Now, I think what this is again a little bit of what we do as the point score also over here, because this what we do is what can actually help you also do things yourself. Okay, it's very important. The first step is very important for it while choosing your credit card. Understanding individual spend pattern. Many people take credit cards because they heard good things from somebody about a credit card. Say they got a discount on dining, or they got a discount on flight and stuff. But are you somebody spending on that same category, or is your spend category different than what the other person was spending? So it's important to evaluate what your key spend categories are, your top five spend categories, and then focus on a credit card that rewards you on these five categories, because that's how you'll earn more rewards if you're focusing on the right categories of spends. What we do is basically analyze this, and then we recommend the right set of credit cards. In this case, you can do it yourself by going through different credit card details on the card issuers websites. Okay, and then on that basis, you start using them for your daily spends. That's more important. It shouldn't be something that you're using once in a blue moon, uh, only for those occasional shopping spends, occasional discounted bookings, because the moment you start using them on a day-to-day spends, your habits, it becomes a habit, and you start accumulating rewards. And वो बोलते हैं ना, बूंद बूंद से सागर भरता है, घट भरता है. What? Sorry, I'm pretty bad with those Hindi sayings, but that's how you start accumulating those reward points, and making it count uh, over a period of time. I think one of the key things that to look out for is a lot of banks keep changing their TNCs. So that's more important to understand, when they are changing TNCs, how it affects you. And fortunately now RBI has made it a rule that banks have to give you a 30-day notice when they are changing any TNCs. So you get enough time to adapt to those TNC changes. So, and if required, if you need to take a new card, or if you need to change the way of using your credit cards. So it gives you a good amount of time. And lastly, earning of those reward points is only about 30%. Redemption, till the time these reward points are on your credit card, they mean nothing. It's just a number on your credit card statement. When you redeem it, that's when the real value of it is realized. So redemptions are equally important. Don't sit on credit card reward point for too long. There's enough expiry available on credit card reward points. Generally, most credit card reward points are minimum 2-year expiry, some 3 years, and some have a lifetime validity. So keep using those credit card reward points, redeeming them from time to time for your flights or hotels, and enjoy those vacations. Be it economy, be it business class, or anything else. It's a great way to really redeem those reward points. So that's more of the presentation. If you like to connect with us for guidance on any of these aspects, if something that you don't understand, you can always visit our website and put in your interest. But this is what all we have that on the presentation, and I think we'll focus more now on the Q&As. I saw a lot of messages popping up, a lot of queries popping
Yes,
up. Yeah,
yes, yes.
over to
So
your end.
let's yes, thanks for the presentation, Tejas. So we'll start with Q&As now. People who have more questions, please start putting your questions as we go ahead with Q&A. Your questions will be taken on first come basis. So the very first question we have from Tapan is the best alternate card to access Atlas. I think that question was answered, which is HSBC Travel One. In case if you
You
have any
have
more
other
questions,
ones also, ICICI, Times
okay.
Black also, and others. But again, I think this space is huge.
Hmm.
Alternates, there's a lot of alternates available for each segment. It's about, I'll re-stress on that point on the last slide that I mentioned. It's about analyzing your spends and focusing on where your spends are. Based on that, you can look at alternates.
Right. The second question we have is which cards are recommended for payment of insurance premium?
Insurance premium, HDFC credit cards do give points on insurance premiums. Amex doesn't give points on insurance premium, but it allows you to really, achieve those payment milestones. HSPC on the premier allows you to earn points on insurance spends up to 1 lakh. So there's again there's a lot of options available, but it really depends on what cards are in each person's reach. Based on that, they'll have to look at uh, taking the credit card. And again, it also depends on what's the premium amounts. If you're somebody who's paying just one or two small premiums, there's a different way. If you're paying big premiums through the year, there's a different way to do.
The next question we have is how does keeping a lifetime free credit card without using it helps anyway?
So once you've gotten a credit card, that credit card account history automatically gets created in your civil account. Okay, it's not that if you don't use it, don't use a lifetime credit card, you won't get any credit history in the civil score. But yes, now the key aspect now is even if a bank issues you a lifetime free credit card, you still have to activate it using an OTP. Till it's not activated, it's not uh, considered as that you have accepted it. And I would say still, once you get a lifetime free credit card, do use it for 500,000 rupees at least for 1 or 2 months and repay it on time so that it helps you build that credit score. Credit score much faster.
Yes. The next question we have is there any capping to how much income tax we can pay using a credit card? Also, are there any specific cards which reward you higher for specifically paying taxes using credit card?
See, as such, from an income tax portal website, there's no restriction. It really depends on what credit card you have, what credit limit you have, what kind of rewards it earns. Because on the income tax portal, there's a small surcharge. There's a 0.9% surcharge for paying 0.8 to 0.9% surcharge for paying choosing credit cards. Now, if you have a card that's going to reward say 2% or higher, then you are actually beating that surcharge. Something like an HDFC Biz Black right now. HDFC Biz Black is 3.3%. So 0.8, 0.9% as a surcharge and 3.3% as reward. So you're gaining 2.3 plus percent. Plus there are milestone benefits on that credit card. So things like these do exist. It really depends on what credit card is in your reach and which one can be issued based on your ITR and banking relationship.
Right. What is the difference between standard reward rate and accelerated reward rates?
I think I explained it during the presentation also that each card has its own features. Like the Access Atlas gives you accelerated reward rate on flights and hotels. So if you're specifically booking flights or hotels using the Access Atlas, you'll get 10%. And for all other spends that you're doing on the non-excluded category, you'll get a standard 4%. So that's the difference between a standard and accelerated reward.
The next question we have is what is the eligibility for HDFC Infinia and Axis Magnus?
So eligibility now on an eligibility for these cards kind of there are fixed guidelines for eligibilities, but it also depends a lot on banking relationships. So there's multiple ways to get it. The HDFC Infinia on a standard eligibility is about 60 lakhs ITR. That's 5 lakh net salary now. They've hiked up the eligibility quite a lot. But if you're an existing HDFC credit card user, there's also a way of doing it that if your credit limit is upwards of 9 lakhs or 10 lakhs, sorry, and you spent 8 lakhs plus in the last 6 months on that HDFC credit card, you can actually request for an upgrade to Infinia. Most likely, the Infinia upgrade will land into your net banking as an upgrade option. But if not, that can be done. From an Access Magnus Burgundy perspective, there are multiple ways, I think, but the more important is you need to be a Burgundy banking customer. And a Burgundy banking customer happens in multiple ways. One is if you have a salary account, the salary credit of 3 lakhs. If you have a mutual funds worth of 60 lakhs, There's DMAT option. There's multiple options available to achieve that burgundy banking status. So choose what's best for your personal finances.
The next question we have is Axis has stopped issuing Atlas card. They are offering Horizon instead. Is Horizon any comparable to Atlas?
Horizon is not comparable to Atlas. Definitely, Horizon has half the reward rate of that of Atlas. It's still a decent card. It's not a bad card. But if you don't have an Access Atlas and if you're looking to get a card of equivalent to that, then HSBC Travel One is a better card than an Access Horizon, at least on a at an immediate basis is what I can say. Times Black is another option available. So evaluate what card features, and again, same thing. I'm repeating it again, so that people understand. It is not a card suggestion in a way, but it's more about understanding how you can select a card. So look at the features, look at your spends, whether these two things match, then that's how you select a credit card. So
HDFC's premium banking. So the next question is HDFC's premium banking feature is offering me HDFC Infinia card. How is this different from getting a credit card without opening the premium bank account with them?
I just explained the HDFC Infinia criteria. Get the criteria like the 5 lakh net salary credit, the spending on existing credit cards. So that's the difference between a premium banking category issuance of Infinia versus a regular issuance of Infinia.
Also, I'm sure there must be some minimum balance requirement for, right? They just correct me if I'm wrong, for
Yes. So
some of
if
these
they're,
premium banking
I think
features.
if I don't know what banking status they are in, but I think HDFC offers Infinia to every HDFC Infinity banking customers and to certain Imperia banking customers. For Imperia, it's not guaranteed, but depending on how long you've been Imperia and stuff, there's exceptions that being made. Again, HDFC has always, uh, you know, uh, focused on has always been saying that the Infinia is an invite only card. So HDFC does reserve the right to issue that card, to its customers depending on their customer profile.
Right. The next question we have is which credit card is best for annual spending ranging from 1 to 5 lakhs?
So 1 to 5 lakhs, I would say focus on the lifetime fee credit cards. The HDFC Swiggy card was available, or the ICICI Amazon Pay credit card was available. You're in a segment where you're not really going to earn more than 2 to 3% in terms of the cashback, maybe 5% depending on where you shop and where you spend. But no point going into a paid credit card for somebody who's spending into this segment. But at the same time, evaluate if you're considering everything, because sometimes that changes your segment of a credit card. Like when we mentioned the usual user and a unique user categories that people spend on, evaluate that aspect, and then look at the cards that you want to take.
The next question we have is whether paid premium credit card is better than lifetime free credit cards.
I mean, we've already seen examples of it. The cashback segment
Right.
cards in a lifetime fee generally 1 to 5%, whereas the moment you get into the premium segment cards, it's starting from 3-4% all the way till 15-30%. And most of these premium segment credit cards also have a fee waiver. Like Infinia has a fee waiver at 10 lakh spends. Magnus Burgundy has a fee waiver at 25 lakh spends. So if you're somebody who's spending big money, and these cards not just reward you, they still don't charge you a fee. So it's as good as a free credit card available. Like I haven't paid on my HDFC Infinia a fee in the past 4 years because my spending, I crossed that 10 lakh threshold on the Infinia.
The next question we have is college best. What is the best utilization of SBI cashback card?
Best utilization, as in, I mean, the cashback, 5% cashback is on online spends. So, depending on where you're spending, and that's the cashback. That's the maximum cashback that you're going to get for an SBI cashback credit card.
The next question we have is college fee payments have surcharge if paid via credit cards. How to avoid them?
So there's no way really to avoid them. There are few portals now which they had started, the third party portals which had started allowing you to pay fees for school fees and college fees, but I think banks have cut down on that and don't give rewards for such portals third party. But if your college institution's portal is charging a surcharge, then it really depends on what surcharge they are charging and versus what reward rate that you are achieving. So you'll need to evaluate that. Based on that, you have to take a decision.
The next question we have is can we use credit card for property down payment with a builder? If yes, then which one is recommended?
Uh, most most property builders are registered under property management services, and almost all of the card issuers have stopped giving rewards on property management services, purely because a lot of people had started rotating money using the rent payment options on many of these websites. So it's unlikely that you would earn rewards on a good credit card on a property purchase. Uh, it's a very difficult aspect today. I mean, none of the key credit cards in the market allow you to earn reward points on that kind of a
Mhm.
transaction.
The next question we have is what is the difference between a Visa and a RuPay credit card?
Well, I mean, it's a very a vague question. It's a network providers. Obviously, Visa is
Mhm.
globally accepted. RuPay is India's answer towards a network provider, and hopefully RuPay becomes big enough that it's globally accepted. And then probably they'll start giving you. Today they do give a lot of rewards on certain credit cards and certain offers in between, but the consistency is still missing. So I wouldn't really still focus too much on a RuPay credit card from a rewards perspective.
Right. The next question we have is on what basis companies offer credit card upgrade. I think they just have already answered that question based on the relationship you have with the banks. But if there's anything you'd like to add here.
No, I think it's majorly relationship based. I think a lot of card issuers are now moving towards relationship based for premium segment credit cards, because I think that's
Mhm.
one way that they see to earn more business, get more business into their institution.
Mm. Maybe the right question is how to improve the relationship with the banks.
How to improve your net worth? That's the right question.
Network with the bank. Yes. So the next question is if one has an expense of more than 7 lakhs per year, which credit card do you recommend for value maximization? As most of the expenses are insurance and third-party website charge a convenience fees for paying insurance premium via credit card.
Uh, The question is slightly confusing because this total spends of 7 lakhs or insurance spends of 7 lakhs, there's a
No,
uh,
I think he has asked. So this question from Vimal Dhar, I think he has asked two questions in one message. The first part of question is if one has an annual spend
annual
of
spends
7
of
lakhs per
7
year,
lakhs. Got it.
which
So,
credit
see,
card you
again,
recommend the
it,
most?
it really
Hmm.
depends on the breakup of 7 lakhs, where you're spending.
Hmm.
Going back to that same comment, probably the folks already repeated 3 times. This same thing. Until and unless you know where you're spending maximum, of that 7 lakhs,
Hmm.
the 4 or 5 categories, you wouldn't be able to analyze which card would be best. Okay, if you're spending more on fuel and insurance and and utilities and stuff, you probably are better off even with an Amex Platinum travel, because although all these categories are excluded on the Amex Platinum travel, but you could spend 4 lakhs on this credit card and still earn a 7 or 8% reward rate. But if it is more of non-excluded categories, these 7 lakhs is more of discretionary spends, then your options change. It could be an HSBC travel one, it could be uh, a Times Black, or it could even be one of the cashback cards, because your segment is, you're near to that, you're between that 5 to 10 lakhs. So depending on a excluded category, or so discretionary and non-discretionary spends, things could change. So breakup of that 7 lakh is going to be very, very important.
So the next question is, can we use multiple credit card of same bank like Flipkart SBI card and Reliance SBI card and SBI cashback card?
So a lot of card issuers do allow you to keep multiple credit cards from them. Okay, it's not that card issuers say that you can only hold one. There are card issuers who do say that, but most card issuers are now started becoming liberal for the amount of credit cards that one can hold from them. Like some would say one regular credit card and one co-branded credit card. That could be one way one bank issues it. Some says three credit cards total. Like Access says three credit cards total. On SGFC, we've seen people with four credit cards also. Infinia, BizBlack, Marriott, Bonvoy, Swiggy. So all, the many people who have three or four credit cards over there. ICICI allows you to keep even 4 or 5 credit cards. So yes, it is possible to have multiple credit cards on a card issuer. But more important, I would say, why keep those multiple credit cards? Because the more number of credit cards that you have, the more headache in managing those credit cards. So one of the most important aspects should be simplifying your life. You want those rewards, but not at the cost of losing your peace of mind, and that's more important.
The next question we have is, if I get a CC against credit card against FD, how is this different than getting a credit card without FD? Can I break the FD after tenure?
There's no difference in the credit card features, even if you get it against an FD or if you get it normally. The reason to get it against an FD is only one simple reason, that if you don't qualify from an income criteria, or if you're somebody who's new who doesn't have a credit score and all, but you want a credit card, so some banks allow you these sideways to get those credit cards. Okay, but at the same time, if you're taking a credit card on an FD, you're marking that credit card as lien. So you cannot touch that FD till the credit card is operational. The moment you touch that FD for anything, the credit card is as good as closed.
Hmm.
So I know most banks won't allow you to later on convert it to a normal credit card. You will have to again go and take a new credit card through a normal route and then close this credit card.
So you have to discontinue the credit card which was issued against it to remove the FD.
Yes, right.
Hmm. Right. The next question is from Karan Gandhi. He's asking, when I pay my Tata Power electricity bill through credit card, there is a convenience fee. Does any credit card offer a refund or a waiver on this convenience fee?
No, they don't. But you could look at using, say, something like this is a Tata. It's a Tata Neo, right? Sorry,
Tata
which
Power.
current he
No,
hasn't. He's not mentioned
he's
which
saying the
credit card.
electricity bill. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. So, but you could use something like an HDFC Pays app. It allows you to pay, electricity bills for many of the electricity boards without a convenience fee, and it still gets counted as utilities. So that's one way of kind of ensuring that you don't pay the convenience fee.
Okay, so the card's name is HDFC Pays app.
No, no. The card is
Hmm.
PayZapp is an app. You could use
Hmm.
any credit card, any rewarding credit utility, any card that rewards on utilities. Okay. HDFC PayZapp is an app that HDFC has built as a competitor for Paytm. So that's how it is.
Okay. The next question we have from Jayant Yagnik. He's asking, I live in a tier 2 city and wish to apply for an HSBC oblique Amex credit card. I have applied several times in the past, but due to my limited branch network in my area, my application could not be processed. I would be greatly appreciate if you could assist me completing the process, guide to me how to proceed. I think Jayant, you can connect one-on-one later with, with
Yeah,
Tejas,
but
or
then
I
the
think this is
answer
more of
is
a
if
process query.
no, it's the answer is that if your PIN code is not serviceable by a branch, there's no way that you can actually sorry, not serviceable by the card issuer. There's not much anybody can do on it unless
Hmm.
your location changes or something like that, or they change, they add new PIN codes. There's nothing much that anybody can do in any way.
Okay,
Sorry,
so
the
even
PIN
if
code has
you,
to be serviceable.
hmm, hmm, so even if you
This
have
is
a
bank's
ready,
decision. See, this is bank's
hmm,
decision to service which PIN codes they want to service. Because they at
hmm,
the end of the day, deliveries, card deliveries, and the focus is there. So even if you want to take it, even if
hmm.
you are eligible for it, you really can't.
I think we have a lot more other questions, but for now we have
The
to wind
topic
up
is such
the
that the questions
webinar.
will
Yeah.
keep coming.
Yes. So, but if we, in case if you have any more questions, please write us to at the editor at fineprint.com. And Tejas, you can put in your email too.
Yeah, I mean, you can connect with me on any of the social media handles, Twitter, Instagram. It's Tejas Ghongadi. What you see on my display name, it's straightforward Tejas Ghongadi, and or else it's Tejas at thepointscode.com is my email ID. You can put in your queries over there.
Right. Thanks. Thank you so much for joining in. Thanks,
Yeah.
Tejas.
Thank you all.